What's up, guys? Welcome to your 27th Android tutorial for my Bring Back. What we're going to do in this tutorial, like I promised, we're going to draw our bitmap and animate it to our canvas. So first we need to set up our bitmap, allow our class to refer to the bitmap so we can draw it. So we're just going to set up a bitmap object, call it bball. And you guys also want to throw in your drawable folder, some kind of a PNG or some kind of an image. I called mine blue ball. It's just a small blue ball, 75 pixels by 75 pixels. So make sure you do that. And then what we're going to do is, again, we're just going to add our import, and within our constructor we're going to set up our bitmap. So our bitmap was called blue ball. We're just going to say bitmap factory dot decode resources, or resource I should say. And as you can see, it takes a resource and an ID. The resource, we're just going to say get resources. And for our ID, the specific resource that we want to draw or create as our bitmap. So we're just going to say r.drawable.blueball. So there we go. We've worked with bitmaps before, but we did a little bit different with the input stream, which we probably should have done anyways, but we're just going to set it up as decoding a resource and use that method to set up our bitmap. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw the bitmap to the screen and animate it. How we're going to animate it is we're going to change where it is in the X position and where it is in the Y position. But what we need to do is we need to set up basically an int value that's going to be our X position and an int value that's going to be our Y position. So we're going to set this equal to be int X and int Y. And again, within our constructor, because this is going to get called right when we created it in our tutorial 4 class, it's going to call that constructor first. So we're just going to set up our X and Y values to be 0 at the beginning. So there we go. And now we're just going to change these positions each time it calls this draw method. And it's going to call this draw method over and over and over and over. So each time we want to add a different value to the X and to the Y. So we're just going to go down below where we drew our rectangle, and we're just going to say X is equal to, or X is plus equal to 10, something like that, and Y is plus equal to 10 as well. I think we've done something like this. All it's saying is adding 10 each time this onDraw method gets called. So it starts at 0, 0, which will be the top left, and then it's just going to add our X and our Y position, so it's going to go in a diagonal line down, because again, top left of the corner starts at 0, 0, and then it goes on like that. But the problem is, that we're going to have is our bitmap is going to go off the screen and just keep going, all that good stuff. So we need a way to restart our X value at 0, or Y value at 0 as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to create some if statements for each of our X and for our Y value. So we're just going to say if X is less than our canvas size, because again we got that canvas, and we're just going to say get width. So if it's less than the width, we're going to add 10 to X. Else we're going to restart X, because if it's greater than the canvas width, we want to restart it. So we can just say X is equal to 0. And we're just going to basically do the same thing for our Y value. So I'm just going to actually just type it out. If Y is less than our canvas dot get height, then we're going to add 10 to our Y value. Else we're going to set Y equal to 0. Now all we have to do is we have to draw our bitmap to the canvas. So again, all we're just going to do is we're going to say canvas dot draw bitmap, and we have a few different options that we can go for. The one that we're going to do is we're going to relate to this top left, or bitmap left and top, and then our paint as well. So we need to refer to our bitmap, which we set up in our constructor called bball. We need to set up our left value. That's going to handle left from right, so that's going to be our X value. Our top and bottom is going to be our Y value. In our paint, we don't have a paint for our bitmap, so we're just going to say new paint. Or, you guys can create a paint variable right here. Paint P, set this equal to new paint. And we could just relate to our paint object there as well. Pretty much the same thing. But now let's run our application, see how it works. So we're just going to go to our fourth tutorial. So it looks like it's being painted up here. The problem is it's obviously not animated, and you guys are probably like, what's going on? Why we set up all those X and Y values? The reason that's happening is because even though I said this method gets called over and over and over, we have to tell it to call itself over and over and over. Because the first time it gets called, it reads through everything. It's like, hey, man, looks like I'm done here. But if we add one line of code down here called invalidate, that's going to make it loop through again because it didn't find the solution. It didn't accomplish its task. So our onDraw method, he's been painting and painting. He's like, oh, X and Y values, I got to paint those in. What's going on? Got to paint all this stuff. And then he gets done, at least he thinks he does, and we're like, no, I don't like that. Restart, go again. He's like, all right, gotta draw a rectangle, gotta do my X and my Y values, gotta draw this bitmap. How's that? And we're like, nope, again. And that's just basically the concept. So it's gonna loop through this onDraw method over and over. So now when we run it a second time, hopefully our ball will be animated. So we're going to go to button 4. As you can see, it's going crazy here. Hopefully you guys kind of understand everything that's going on. Again, we have a specific X value and a Y value. So if our ball hits over here, it's going to be like, hey, my X value is greater than the width of the canvas. So I'm going to just set my X value back over to here and start here as well, and then it's going to go down. And if it hits the bottom, it's like, hey, my Y value is bigger than my canvas height. So I'm going to start back up here and then just go down and down. So hopefully you guys understand that. Just kind of play around with some of these values, get it to look the way that you want. And thanks again for watching, guys. Catch you in the next tutorial. Peace.